Blessings, bright ones. I am Alania Starhawk, and I wish to do a little work today within the Akashic Field of Light to assist me in clearing away any attachment to previous choices, moments, experiences, those attachments that allow me to believe that they somehow impact my experience right here, right now. I wish to step into remembrance that each moment is independent of the last and of the next, and in all moments we are pristine. We do hold infinite pure potential within our being, and we get to create life as we choose. We're not bound to any past experience or perception of how that past experience played itself out. We are able to reinterpret our experience in all moments and to feel free, free, free. So in order to work on this experience of healing for myself, I wish to go into the Akashic realm and trust in the guides and guardians there to bring through some clarity, understanding, and truth to assist me in reprogramming old belief systems, moments where my soul attached to false understanding or limited understanding. However, I'm going to expand this and tell you that I have decided it would be beautiful if we were able to do this together as a collective. You and I, brother and sister in humanity, connecting to those memories within the collective that allow us to feel bound and connected to the past moments that we've held judgment upon. And so when I do go in and I say my little prayer to connect to all that will bring some healing to this moment in my belief systems here and now, I will be connecting to our memory as a collective upon this earth plane. I will be using the I, most certainly, often enough, because the I holds authority. But recognize when I say I mean I as the greater I, you and I in that sense of oneness. So as this journey, as this prayer, as this visualization begins to unfold, be very clear and centered that you're not just witnessing my experience, that your soul is part of this. Your soul has known that it wished to be part of this, and you are part of this collective. Okay? Going into the Akashic realm of light is this river of light that flows through, intertwines with all life. And all I need to do is to ask to receive that which supports us here and now. I have such a bond with the Council of Light within the Akashic field that they easily and effortlessly bring to me the insights, the energy, activations, and healings that will support our prayer. So just take a deep breath now, come into your center, hold a little thought in your own soul right now that you are thankful for this exact moment, that you wish to participate in the experience, and you are open to receive all that blesses and supports you. Okay? Angels of light and masters of light, I call upon you now to create a sweet, beautiful, sacred circle to surround myself and every other soul who wishes to be part of this sacred experience. I'm calling in the Akashic Field of Light, the Akashic Council of Light, all of the masters and the guardians, the ancient ones and the sacred ones, to be present with us now, to bring through all of the insight, all of the understanding, all of the truth, all of the wisdom that can support us in freeing ourselves from believing that any judgment of a choice, of a moment, of an action can hold us back from being our truest divine light. I ask to receive all wisdom, understanding, clarity, and truth to assist us in healing every part of us that is clinging to some past moment as a resistance to moving forward freely, clearly, passionately, in love. So I'm asking to receive that which supports us as a collective here in humanity, from freeing the past as a way of governing our way forward. We ask to stand in remembrance, in truth, knowing that this moment brings to us all that supports our soul, our journey. So the first image I receive is of myself. Remember that I am the whole. I am you, you are me. But I'm seeing it from within. So the first image I receive is of myself in an older classroom. An older classroom where you would have the boards, the black boards, the individual black boards. And what I notice is that there is a particular black board that I have, that receives a line each time we didn't measure up to what it was that the schoolmaster would wish to receive from us. Every time we didn't play the role, the part that they wished us to play, there was a little white mark that was added to our blackboard to make us feel continuously inferior, separate, and disconnected from the whole. When we were received into that classroom each day, remember that we were young, we were innocent, not understanding the world. We walked in there believing, accepting that the authority figures in that classroom would be able to show us what was right and wrong in the world. There's this inner belief that someone above us, someone grander than us, older than us, wiser than us, would know what was right or wrong, and actually had the authority to measure our actions, our presence, our choices as appropriate or not. The reason I'm pausing is because this energy is building up in me, this frustration, realizing that as my blackboard becomes more full with these white marks, I recognize there's nothing I can do to make this person content. It doesn't matter how hard I try, because he's not looking to see me as a positive force in this classroom. His focus is actually upon what is not correct, what is not right. And this is why this board is actually becoming more and more filled. As this feeling of anger builds in me, I see the angels and the guardians coming now. And they remind me that I, as a child, as an innocent one, really believing that it could be so, was putting my faith in self of who I am in this authority figure to measure whether or not I was worthy of attention, of being treated fairly. I see now that I learned to measure myself. We learned to measure ourselves because we trusted in the authority figures at some level. Even if we thought it wasn't right, there was a part of us that felt it's the way it's supposed to be. So we actually began to give our power away to these authority figures around us in life. And what they're showing me is this schoolmaster was just one of the authority figures that we would hand over our power to. If someone could in some way imply, just imply, that they were an authority in some field, we believed that our voice, our choices, our actions were up to judgment from these authoritative roles, authority figures, even better. And what I'm sensing now on a soul level is that it's not about that teacher, it's not about that moment, it's not about that blackboard. It's about seeing that that blackboard is symbolic of all the times I allowed people I didn't know, people I did respect and care for, just people. I allowed people to measure who I am. From this level of clarity and truth, I can sense all this judgment I've been holding on to isn't because I truly judge myself, because there's a part of me that knows I really was the innocent one in every single moment, unable to make a choice different than I made in each moment. In this moment, I can see that even though it appears to be my own self-judgment, I was embracing the belief systems of those who appeared to be wiser, to be grander, to be more authority-filled than myself. And as I step into freeing myself, healing myself from the judgments I've placed upon myself for past choices, actions, I realize that the belief that any of my choices were inappropriate was false discernment, false understanding, false alignment. Learning to see these choices as just being choices, just momentary choices, will allow me to open to see each of those moments from unique perspectives if I choose. And so let me tell you the reason why I am contemplating upon this topic now. Because as my mind brings back remembrance of different choices I've made in the past, there's a part of me that really contemplates and wonders, would I react differently now? Would I really stand in my authority, or would I allow false beliefs to direct my energy? And although I wish to live life from this heightened state of alignment and truth, my physical self still aligns with some false fear-based truths. I'm noticing it as I'm stepping into greater expansion for myself. I'm recognizing that my mind is still embracing some false truths. And so this is why we're here today. And what I'm sensing is that this isn't about others. It's not about judgment. It's about believing that in any moment it is okay to hand over my personal sovereign authority to another who appears to have greater insight, greater knowing from my journey. This does not mean we need to close people off. It's okay to listen to people's advice, to listen to their encouragement, to welcome all of that support. But we must take responsibility back for the choices that we've made. We must take responsibility back even for this moment in time, recognizing that if I still embrace the false perceptions I've embraced in the past, even that is me believing that there is no higher solution through. So taking my power back is a big part of this now. Let me just step into connection with spirit just a little bit more deeply and just find out what more we need to understand about this dynamic, about this healing experience. So Spirit asks me, what do you, what do we, what do I need to say to these authority figures that felt they had the right to measure my choices, my actions in each moment, and cause me to find these faults, these judgments as part of my identity. So what do we wish to say to these authority figures that made us feel small? And I hear that although I didn't know who I was in that moment, here I am standing bright and tall once again. And there's an awareness flowing through me that chooses love, authentically chooses love. That doesn't mean that I know where to find these forces of love in my life, but I let this prayer go to the higher levels of divine truth, my guides, my guardians who love me so dearly, knowing that they will bring to me the solutions, the paths through, the healing opportunities that will assist me in choosing love authentically. The time of self-judgment is nearing its end. Remembering that you, in your brilliance, have the ability to stand empowered, to stand majestic, to stand immutably pure as you are, is awakening. And the belief that a moment, that an experience can make you feel any less brilliant, majestic, empowered is false. So come back into wholeness with the prayer now. Come back into wholeness and remember that you choose love. Let Universal Source guide your way. Let the judgments you've known previously just be transmuted into light. For as you no longer feed those self-judgments, so they no longer have a way of surviving in your reality, in your consciousness, in your awareness. Be free. Thank you, beautiful guardians. Thank you, Council of Light. Thank you to all that is flowing. Thank you to all that is moving through my own body, my own spirit, my own sense of self, and through the collective that journeys with me now, brothers and sisters as one, remembering that we are together in this journey and no separation can be as we illuminate our own path, our own truth, so we rise into consciousness of divine being, of self-acceptance and love. Namaste.